BAC Meeting is now on order. So let's start with item 2.
Presentation of PWG post qualification for Tugigaraw Airport Development Project. So we'll just wait for the DOTR representative.
Yes, sir. This is the post-qualification report for the Tugigaraw Airport Development Project with an ABC of 72,884,737.17. It was bid out as February 28, 2019, and the LCV for the project was Hyper-J Construction and Supply. Upon verification of the submitted eligibility documents of Hyper-J Construction, the BAC PWG noted that all the legal eligibility documents such as the field jets, the mayor's permit, and the registration certificate from DTI and the tax clearance are all responsive. And the bidder also has a SLCC of 52,281,082.16, which is more than the ABC of the more than the 50% of the ABC requirement of the project. However, upon checking the pickup license of the bidder is small B category A for road, highway, pavement, railways, horizontal structures, and bridges. And under the invitation to bid for the project, our requirement is a pickup license of medium A category B for roads, highway, pavements, railways, airport, horizontal structures, and bridges. So, non-responsive po siya.
Di mo nakita yan ng company?
During the opening of sir, it is the presence and absence of the document company. So, hindi po natin tinignan kung small B ba siya o medium A as to our requirement. And all the technical eligibility documents were all responsive, and of course the financial eligibility documents such as the audited financial statement and the NFCC are all responsive. The bidder has an FCC of 562,466,310, which is more than the APC. And with regard to the minimum required technical personnel and equipment, responsive po lahat. So with reference to the above findings, sir, for not complying with the eligibility and technical requirements, most particularly the required pickup license and registration of medium A category B, the BAC TWG is recommending the disqualification of Hyper J Construction and Supply for non-compliance to the ITB and BDS Clause 12.1AI or the required pickup license of medium A category B. And other recommendations, sir, further, for having failed to meet the criteria for post-qualification, the BAC TWG recommends to notify Hyper J Construction and Supply in writing about their post-disqualification and to notify the second lowest calculated bidder for the project, Camia Construction Development Corporation, to undergo post-qualification. This is the bid evaluation report. Our LCB is Hyper J Construction, followed by Camia Construction being the second lowest bidder. Second lowest calculated bidder after the bid evaluation. Yung pong lowest natin and the third lowest bidder during the opening of bids were disqualified for incompleteness of bid after the bid evaluation. So we have notified the lowest bidder and the third lowest bidder during the opening of bids about disqualification. And kaya po tayo nag-proceed for the post-qualification of the second lowest bidder, which is considered as the LCB for the project Hyper J Construction. And the fourth lowest bidder, Camia Construction, was considered as second LCB. And in relation to these projects, sir, meron pong natanggap ang BAC Secretariat, which is the motion for reconsideration of Magnet Construction being the lowest bidder during the opening of bids. As a background, sir, si Magnet Construction was disqualified for incompleteness of bid. And this was the reason for their incompleteness. No materials for the RCPC and no equipment for the payloader for the item 500 RCPC. And accordingly, nag-file po sila ng motion for reconsideration.
I think with regard to motion for reconsideration, as I discussed, we will wait for the other members to become
sir, this is the...
So, Martin was disqualified also after the post-qualification.
No, sir. During the opening of bid, sir, Marder is considered as the lowest bidder, followed by the second lowest bidder, Hyper J, and the third lowest bidder is Pacific Summit, and the fourth lowest bidder was Kamya. After conducting the evaluation for their financial documents, sir, the lowest bidder and the third lowest bidder, Marder and Pacific Summit, were disqualified for incompleteness of bid. And the second lowest bidder, Hyper J Construction, was considered as the LCB after bid evaluation. And the fourth lowest bidder during opening of bids, Kamya, was considered as the second LCB after bid evaluation.
Okay. And Martin now is the first thing for reconsideration.
Yes, sir. Martin Construction is Martin Construction submitted motion for reconsideration for their disqualification for this project.
And that's why I suggest that we will decide that later with the other members about the question. So right now, based on the post-qualification report, Hyper-J was problem in the document.
Yes, sir. The result of the post-qualification, sir, is that all the eligibility, technical, and financial documents were complied by Hyper-J. However, yung requirement na pickup license, which we require medium A category B license, they only possess a small B category D license and registration.
Please conclude with the recommendation.
The recommendation of the BAC Meeting is to disqualify Hyper-J Construction for non-compliance with the instruction to bidders, with the invitation to bid and the bidders clause 12.1 AI. For our requirements is medium A category B. However, they have submitted a pickup license and registration of small B category B for road sideways and airport horizontal structures and bridges.
For number 3, that we start in request for consideration from Hyper-J or from the
Sir, ang pinapost-qualify kasi natin, sir, is Hyper-J Construction. So after the recommendation of the BAC TWG to disqualify Hyper-J, we should proceed to the second lowest calculated bidder, which is Kamya Construction and Development Corporation, to undergo post-qualification pending the request for reconsideration of the lowest calculated bidder, which is Hyper-J Construction. This is the subject for post-qualification.
Kami nag-include the other request for reconsideration.
Sir, dito sa post-qualification, sir, is that as far as nasa post-qualification process na po tayo, the disqualification of Marder and Pacific Summit is not considered na dito sa post-qualification kasi after the bid evaluation, doon po sila na-disqualify. So, ang motion for reconsideration nila is after the bid evaluation.
What will be the effect here?
So, dapat sa i-settle muna natin kung ano po yung magiging decision natin sa motion for reconsideration ni Marder Construction. Bago natin i-padalhan ng whether na we will be amenable to their motion for reconsideration or not. Kasi maapektuhan po kasi yung post-qualification natin. Kasi kung papayagan po natin si Marder na sa motion for reconsideration niya, dapat po ipo-post-qualify natin si Marder prior to post-qualification. Hindi na tayo pupunta kay Kamya. Kasi kinonsider natin yung motion ni Marder as the lowest bidder, which in turn will be the lowest calculated bidder for the project. And si Hyper J po being the second lowest na lang po siya.
Okay, so that means that we will wait for the other members to decide for this also. Because if we decide for the disqualification of Hyper J and recommend for the post-qualification for Kanya, then we will not yet resolve the issue for that the other one.
Yes, sir. Tama po.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair, I do support the process. The first one is we have to resolve the call by the chairman a while ago that the presence of the other members to settle the issue about that Martin
Motion po ulit ang
before going to the issue of this number 3.
Yes, sir. We should first settle the issue of market construction and then we go to the disqualification of Hyper J and the post-qualification of Kanya.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we have already decided and we will, the secretariat instructed to calendar this in this meeting. Okay, before going to pre-procurement, I think pre-procurement of similar project, is there any other post-qualification report submitted? Wala pa? Last time I remember we have seven project which will undergo post-qualification report. Wala pa.
Na ating matters.
Other matters and may
Sa ating matters.
I think we need to give priority to those that are already post-qualified so that we could issue the award if they pass the post-qualification.
Set ng post-qualification report na gawa ng ng progress.
Meron na kami na sa
Sir, about the post-qualification report na na-present last time, umikot na daw po yung concept, yung back resolution for our.
Yung for post-qualification last time, wala pang natapos.
Yun sir, ang ginawa na nila ng back resolution for our sir. Umikot na po daw po siya.
They, what I mean is yung nakatap, yung post-qualification na sinimulan ng last meeting, di ba? Dito yun. Yung nakatapos ng mini-evaluation.
Wala sir, pinapost-qualify pa lang namin sir. Nag-schedule pa lang po kami ng post-qualification process kasi kasasabit lang po nila ng documents.
Okay. Okay, so let's proceed to item 3. Pre-procurement conference, pre-procurement, planning script preparation, including scope, protection, mass, and effort.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Pre-procurement for runway street grade correction, including slope protection at Maasin Airport. The ABC of the project is 54,683,189 pesos and 82 centavos. Morning, Mr. Chair. For the runway speed plate correction with snow protection at Maasin Airport, for the scope of work of runway speed plate, from station 0 plus 340 up to station 0 plus 885.75 with total length of 545.29 meters. And for both sides, sir, with width of 60 meters from the edge of the runway. And for the slope protection gabions, from station 0 plus P40 up to station 0 plus 560 with total length of 220 linear meters.
Ibig sabihin ko yan, mataas yung runway. Tapos doon sa kaliran ng runway tatapos.
Yes. Yes.
Tapos pagkatapos yung itatapos mo na 60 meters, lalagay mo na slope protection.
Yes po, sir. So for the sample cross-section, ito po, sir. Parang average depth of 4 meters po from the existing ground line of runway. So ito po yung proposal natin for snow protection using gabions. For the detailed cross-section of snow protection, using 3 types of gabion, one with dimensions of 1 meter for the depth, and the width is 1 meter by 1 meter. So for the next layer po, increment of 0.5 meters.
Ilan yung distance from the east of the runway palabas?
60 meters po. After po ng speed plate po. From the edge of the runway, offset po ng 60 meters and then yung gabions na.
Bakit yan yan? Yung ibang parte?
Sir, may ongoing po na project yung DOTR.
So that will complete the whole district na pagkatapos.
Yes, sir. So for the another slope protection po, sir, from the aerial view po, meron po parang funding of water sa side. So we propose to have a slope protection using steel sheet piles for the details po. So these are steel sheet piles with length of 6 meters, 4 meters submerged to the water line, then 2 meters exposed, and concrete coping, and then 2 meters height for the grouted riprap. For the details of pipe coping, So for this project, sir, here is the required technical personnel, equipment, and applicable license requirement. Medium A license category B for road, highway, pavement, railways, airport, and other horizontal structures. And the duration of this project is 300 calendar days, inclusive of 20 rainy and workable days. And the cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. And for the similar contract, for this purpose, similar contracts shall refer to contracts which have the same major category support, upgrading, improvement, rehabilitation, construction of unpaved roads, and earthworks. For the scope of work, it includes mobilization, demobilization, excavation and disposal, embankment, aggregate sub-base cores, gabions, structural steel sheet piles, grouted riprap, and temporary facilities. And here is the form for bill of quantities. And the bid proposal. Detailed estimate for answer.
Yes, so all the areas where the project will be conducted is already owned by CAAP.
Yes, sir.
Wala tayo dito, wala tayo.
Wala. Okay, wait lang. In this regard, sir, the BAC recommend, I request for posting for this project, sir.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to have the recommendation of the DWG that this project, Broadway Street Grade Correction within scope protection and housing network is more costly. Second, Mr. Chair.
Yes, so recommendation of the user for the qualification of this project.
I don't know. Wait, just
And to the chair, the next agenda is asphalt overlay of runway at Camiguin Airport worth 200 million by AEMS.
Clarification, this is the EDMS project, not the DOTR.
Yes, sir. BPP, sir. The procurement for asphalt overlay of runway at Camiguin Airport.
The ABC of the project is 93,523,782 pesos and 51 centavos. Here is the
Good morning, Mr. Chair. This is the Camiguin Airport, and our project for asphalt overlay is to be located at this portion. And for the details, the asphalt correction and overlay starts from station 0995 to station 1416 with a total length of 421.07 meters and a total area of 15,345.89 square meters. Mr. Chair, this project aims to correct the longitudinal slope runway elevation after the asphalt overlay. We aim to have a uniform slope of 300 meters from the end going towards the at least 300 meters of uniform slope after the asphalt overlay.
Yung figure na yan, yan yung characteristic na yung
Ito po. Bali, explain ko lang, Mr. Chair. Yung pong nasa ilalim, yan po yung existing runway elevation ngayon. And then, after po nung overlay, ito na po, yung nasa ibabaw. So, kung mapapansin niyo po, Mr. Chair, yung actual existing elevation po, masyado po siyang ganito po yung tsura niya. Pa-curve po. Palubog po yung palubog po yung elevation ng runway. So, after po ng elevation, magiging straight na po siya. After ng overlay pala, sorry. Magiging straight na po. And then, kaya po, inahabol po natin yung uniform slope po as per MOS na at least 300 meters. And then, itong portion na po, ito na lang po yung magiging transition. Hindi ba as per serious? Yung existing po kasi ngayon is marami pong slope. Hindi lang po measure masyado obvious dito, pero kung titingnan niyo po maigi, yan po, like for example ito, ganyan po, nagko-curve po siya. So, kaya po natin siya yung overlay. Para example po. As per manual standards din po siya. Compliance.
Tapos yung nasa baba, parang lumuwang yung runway.
Ay, hindi. Ibig sabihin po niyan kasi ito po, opo, ganyan po yung niya, yung configuration po ng ngayon eh. Ng runway po ngayon eh. From 30 po, naging 45. Yung Camiguin po. Ayan.
Magaling pa since ay bakit hindi sinama na yun?
Balik kasi po, overlay po ito, meron pong existing PCCP. So kung isasama po natin, ang project po natin is overlay. Kung isasama, ihahabulin po natin siya. Kailangan po natin mag-widen po, parang gano'n yung ibig sabihin.
So kung next year, mayroon na naman continuation yan.
Oo, meron po. Actually, meron pa rin kung dapat i-correct sa next part. Actually, meron din po. Sa portion po ng kabilang side, meron din po tayong dapat i-correct. So, kaya lang po naman sa budget.
landing.
So, as an additional information po, kaya rin po natin gustong i-overlay natin to is to resolve po yung pagka lumalapag po yung aeroplano sa portion na to, since hindi po uniform yung slope, yung existing ngayon, bumpy po siya. So, tatagog-tagog po yung aeroplano. So, once po natin ma-overlay at uniform na po yan, baga smooth na po.
Okay, proceed.
Here is the following technical personnel and equipment requirement for this project. And the minimum pickup license is medium A license category B for roads and highway pavement. And the duration of this project is 900 calendar days. 90 calendar days, exclusive of 90 calendar days, exclusive of rainy and unworkable days.
Wala kang nakalipay.
Sir, nung kasing ginawa yung first CPM na sir, may sakto sa 90 calendar days. So, hindi po kami naglagay ng additional na unworkable days. Nung kasing tinan namin yung first CPM sa yung bar chart estimate, may sakto kasi na tawag dito. Yung sa estimate namin ng contract duration is 90 calendar. Pwede naman sir, gagawin namin 120 calendar days inclusive of 30 calendar days na unworkable. Yes sir. Kaso nga lang sir, ang magiging problema nun sir is that during the submission of the program of work, na-upload na rin po yung 90 calendar days na contract duration na. Kasi kasama yun po sa approval ng program. So we have to revise pa yung contract duration na nakalagay dun sa first CPM namin. Kung ganun ang gagawin namin. Anyway sir, kung ganito naman sir na 90 calendar days exclusive of rainy and unworkable days sir, if ever po na it will rain or it will be determined na unworkable po yung araw na yun, automatic suspension naman po yun. So, ang i-consider lang po natin na contract duration is 90 calendar days, and whenever there is a rain or there is an unworkable or because of there is a operational hazard or anything po sa paggagawa po natin, automatic suspension naman po siya.
Siguro, may style siguro pwede natin i-kira. Pero just to dapat susunod po ito po, dapat kinakita na sa aming practice natin kasama ang workable. Kasi marami na tayong project na ginawa ay nandun parati ang workable. Kaya nagtaka ko bakit ngayon na wala kasama.
Okay sir, noted sir. Sir, additional information din sir, kasi kung minsan sir, naglalagay tayo 90 calendar days plus 30 calendar days na unworkable, di ba? Kung minsan kasi sir, during the implementation, nandun na tayo na umulan siya 15 days and then nagkaroon ng 30 days. Sa pang 31 days sir, pang 31st day sir, automatic suspension din yun sir. So ganito rin po dito sa case nito. So kung nagkaroon ng ulan, dahil hindi nga natin na ilagay na nagkaroon tayo ng provision na unworkable days, automatic suspension din po. So, ganoon din po yung case na naglalagay tayo ng unworkable days. Kung ang predetermined unworkable days natin is 15 calendar days, and na-exhaust na umulan na ng 15 calendar days, yung susunod po, yung ka-16 po, automatic suspension pa rin po sa project implementation. talaga, kung minsan hindi lang yan sir. Kaso nga lang sir, naglalagay lang kami kasi ng unworkable days sir para ma-determine natin kung ilang buwan talaga. Kasi kung minsan sir, hindi eksakto sir. Kung minsan kasi 71 calendar days lang, parang hindi siya, parang hindi maganda tingnan na 71 CD ang lalagay mo na contract duration. Pero in fact, pwede mo siyang lagay na 90 CD or 3 months. Kasi hindi mo siya makuha sir na 71 CD. Ilang buwan ba yun? 2 plus lang, parang gano'n. Hindi mo na-exact. Kaya kung minsan sir, sa estimate namin, na-exact lang namin sa number of months. In this case sir, 90 calendar days, mag-exacto siya sa 3 months, kaya hindi na kami naglagay ng unworkable.
Kayo yung mga ng forecast, kaya kahit gusto ko lang magkaroon tayo ng standard
Okay sir, we will just notify the estimators to provide kahit mga paibon. Basta hinihingi sir na predetermined unworkable days sa susunod. Thank you sir.
So the cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. And for the bid data sheet, ITB clause 5.4b, for this purpose, similar contract shall refer to contracts which have the same major categories of work, asphalting of roads and other horizontal structures. And for the scope of work of the project,
excuse me, yung mga previous project nyo, nagre-require kayo na matching na sa location sa ayun sila. So, pa sa mga kailangan asphalt.
yes sir. Ito po.
Scientific.
Sir, bali magre-require din po tayo ng certification from the bidder. Ito po. That the asphalt batching plant that will be used is owned or under lease purchase agreement, and the same will be brought to Camiguin Airport. The scope of work includes mobilization, demobilization, excavation, embankment, bituminous top coat, then bituminous concrete surface course, as well as runway markings, and removal and disposal of temporary transition, and also temporary facilities. And that's it.
Gusto ko rin yung materials kasi ng asphalt. Kasi mayroon kami mga experience sa technology. Yung bato ng asphalt is tumatalsik tapos nabawasan yung airline. Kaya po sa materials na yun. Tumatalsik yung mga bato ng
Ay, yung mga papers na asphalt. Kaya tinitik natin yun sa yung meeting before the reconstruction meeting, na anything that will be disturb o kaya makakadamage will be ready.
Tapos na yun. Tapos na yung asphalt. Tapos, kung tapos yung asphalt, tapos mayroon mga cables na nandun sa asphalt na tapos yung tumatalsik sa mga. So, paano natin may iwasan sa mga materials na yan?
Mr. Chair, bali sa tingin po namin, hindi po siya about dun sa materials po eh. About po siya dun sa yung workmanship o yung paggawa po ng nung contractor yung pagka-overlay po. Kaya po siguro tumatalsik po, nawawala po yung fineness po ng mga aggregators dun sa asfalto. Ang lang po namin, di bakit tumatama po dun sa mga ilaw.
Hindi kasi sa sasakyan. Kahit sa aeroplano,
So, ibig sabihin po nun, hindi po siguro maganda po yung pagkakagawa ng overlay, kaya naglulus po yung mga aggregators po dun sa ano. Yung nawawala po yung bayan niya po dun sa ano, sa asphalt, kaya po ganun yung nangyayari. So, para po siguro sa tingin po namin, para po maiwasan yun is, siguro po as PE, kunyari, yung PE po na ma-assign dun sa overlay, i-require po niya na at least ma-assure na yung asphalt po na gagawin natin is at least perfect or maganda po yung pagkaka-overlay para po pati po yung combination po ng ano, yung pagkakagawa po ng asphalt para po hindi ganyan na nangyayari na nasisira po yung overlay.
That's all, sir. The back to the volunteer requesting for posting of this project, sir.
Yes, Mr. Chair, to adopt the recommendation of AWG, this project as part of overlay of non-community network is for cost.
Para that implementation, we will have to do for posting of this project in the committee. Next agenda.
Next agenda, sir, is under matters. Conflict of runway to Bangladesh Airport. Lloyd. Let's start na, sir, with the disqualification, a request for consideration of disqualification from GA Flores Construction Incorporated. Sir, as background po, GA Flores po nagsabit ng two motions for reconsideration. One is for Kabangkalan Airport and the other is for Kalibo Airport po. So sa Kalibo Airport po, they are the single calculated bidder. So mag-isa lang po sila. However, during the conduct of post-qualification po, were disqualified dahil po parehas po yung technical personnel and equipment na mostly yung technical personnel and equipment po niya na cleanage are the same with the Tuguegarao Airport Development Project, which was awarded to them sometime last January or February 2019. And the other one po na motion for reconsideration nila is for Kabangkalan Airport. Here po sila po yung LCB during the after the bid evaluation. So na-qualify po natin sila, and again mayroon pong equipment na the same sa Tuguegarao Airport Development Project at dun sa Kalibo project po nila. So this was the reason for their disqualification in Kabangkalan and in Kalibo.
Okay, please discuss first before you want Kalibo. Okay,
Kalibo, sir.
So,
This one is for Kalibo, sir.
So yung tao doon sa Tuguegarao, naka-allocate din sa Kalibo.
Yes, sir. Yung Tuguegarao Airport project po, sir, was bid out last July 2018. So they were the second lowest bidder sa open of bids. Ang lowest bidder po natin, which became the LCB, was Kamya.
Okay, basta tawar, pero tawar sa kanila yung Tuguegarao.
Yes sir, nag-award po sa kanila yung Together House in January 2019.
Ilan ang what duration ng project?
Ang duration ng project po sir is 60 calendar days for Together House Airport.
So, by this time,
This time sir, parang substantially complete na daw po yung Together House. Ang nangyari po kasi sir is na bid po yung Together House last July, na disqualify po yung LCD. Pumunta tayo sa kanila, being the second LCD, and na-award po sa kanila January 2019.
okay.
And yung Kalibo project po, nabid po natin sometime parang December 2018. Binid po natin yung Kalibo. So not knowing na ma-award po sa kanila yung Tugigaraw, ginamit po nila yung equipment, yung majority ng equipment and majority ng personnel from Tugigaraw to Kalibo. So, binid natin ng last December 2018, yung Kalibo. Ito sir, parang ganito. Ang opening natin is December 2018 for Kalibo, nag-evaluate tayo December 21, 2018. Nag-post pa tayo sa kanila March 18, 2019. Yung Tugigaraw naman po sir, July 2018, nag-opening tayo, sila yung second LCD lang. And nag-post qualify tayo, nag-evaluation tayo July 31. So second LCD lang sila. However, yung LCD for Tugigaraw was disqualified. So nag-post pa tayo sa kanila ng October 2018. So nung nag-bid tayo ng December 2018 sir sa Kalibo, ginamit nila yung personnel nila sa Kalibo, sa Tugigaraw dito sa Kalibo. Pero na-award lang yung Tugigaraw sa kanila, January 2019.
May technicality na yan. Kaya tinitignan ko yung projects by this time is already completed.
Yes sir, substantially complete na po for Tugigaraw sir.
And now, patapos na yung project, tapos ito, i-award pa, ongoing pa lang, i-award pa lang natin yung project. So, kung titignan natin yung actual personnel, ay available na. Pero ang hindi ko pa yan is dun sa pa natin, sa loan natin kung piniconsider yun. Kasi yung reality, ang kinukonsider natin yung reality, tapos na yung project na available na yun. So, which will prevail yung silang bid, rin na din tayo ng mga pag-evaluate dahil doon magkasama pa siya naman yung leader.
Yes sir, as far as the BAC TWG is concerned sir, if the BAC TWG will recommend, pwede siguro natin i-recommend yung Kalibo, but not Kabangkalan. Kasi meron pong equipment na ginamit sa Tugigaraw and Kalibo na gagamitin ulit sa Kabangkalan. And knowing na in-award lang natin yung project as January 2019, tapos nag-bid tayo ng Kalibo ng December, hindi pa nila alam sir kung ano yung magiging kanila doon. Parang anong magiging result ng Tugigaraw, kung post-disqualify ba sila o na-qualify sa post-qualification. So kung titignan natin sir, kung mag-base tayo doon sa post-qualification natin, na kasi ang post-qualification is dapat kung kailan ka nag-conduct ng post-qualification, kung ano yung nakita mo during the post-qualification, yun yung reason kung i-award mo ba o hindi. Pero dahil nga po parang tayo rin ang may kasalanan kasi nag-award lang tayo ng January 2019 and yung Kalibo nag-bid lang tayo ng December, and not knowing their fate po dito sa Tugigaraw Airport Project kung i-award ba sa kanila o hindi. The BAC TWG siguro pwede nyo mag-recommenda na siguro pwede i-accept natin yung motion for reconsideration nila for Kalibo but not Kabangkalan.
Could you discuss that with the TWG, with the legal expert?
Sure sir.
And then, we'll place our decision in the recommendation.
Yes sir. We will discuss na lang with Attorney Marky muna para kung papayagan na yun.
Sige, kasi yun nga yung concern ko is yung reality sa project. Tapos nandito naman tayo, nandito lang tayo ng pagkala. So, tingnan niyo kasi that will cause another delay ng implementation. So, titignan din natin kung pwede naman may violation sa so, why not consider yung what's kasi may discussion mo next.
Okay, sir. Sir. Sir, other matters, post-qualification report for the concreting of runway at Kabangkalan Airport. So, dito po sir, yung LCB natin dati is si J. Flores po. Nasa malang misqualify natin, yun po yung motion niya. And we proceed to the second lowest calculated region, which is Kailangan Resource and Development Corporation. So, upon checking out for the submitted documents, all the eligibility documents such as the PhilJets, the SEC, the business mayor's permit from Cagayan de Oro City, and the tax clearance were all valid during the opening of bids, and these were verified during the post-qualification. So, the pickup license of Kailangan Resource is large B category AAA. Our requirement is small b, category B. So, responsive po siya. And they have an SLCC of 180,377,000, which is more than the 50% ABC requirement for the project. So, responsive po. And the financial statement was also submitted, which is for fiscal year 2017. And the NFCC of Kailangan Resource is 4,261,905,551.52, and it is more than the ABC of the project, so responsive. With regard to the technical documents, all the required technical personnel and equipment were all complied by the bidder, so responsive po siya. They also submitted the omnibus order statement, responsive, and the certificate of site inspection together with the logbook and the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, so responsive. And with regard to financial documents, the bid offer is 26,067,893.60. This was reduced to 26,067,823.64, or a difference of 3,679,127.70 from the APC. And all the other financial requirements were all complied with by KRDC, so responsive po. So with regards to the above findings, the BAC TWG is recommending for the award of the project, the completing of runway project at Kabangkalan Airport to Kailangan Resource and Development Corporation for being considered as the lowest calculated responsive bid and for complying with all the legal, technical, and financial requirements for the project.
So, konektado yun doon sa...
Konektado doon sa EMA, sir. Kaso nga lang, sir, yung sinabi ko, sir, if ever na we will grant the motion for reconsideration of J.A. Flores, ang i-recommend na lang ng BAC TWG, sir, is the Kalibo project and not Kabangkalan. Kasi if makikita mo, sir, meron pa rin pong duplication o kaya similar pa rin po yung personnel at saka equipment ng Kalibo, Tuguegarao at saka sa Kabangkalan. Saka dito sir sa pan natin, kung makikita nyo sir, sa timeline natin, binid natin yung Tuguegarao July 2018. Binid natin yung Kalibo sir, December 2018. Binid natin yung Kabangkalan sir is February 2018. Alam na nila sir na na-award sa kanila yung Tuguegarao noong January. Bakit pa nila ginamit yung ibang equipment sa kabangkalan? Dito sa Kalibo, sir, pwede natin palusutin kasi na hindi pa na-award sa kanila yung Tugegraw last January, nag-bid tayo December. So alam nila, sir, wala pa silang award. So pwede sabihin nila na wala hindi siguro sa ating ma-award yung project. So gamitin natin yung personal equipment sa Kalibo. Pero however, sir, dito sa kabangkalan, alam na nila, sir, na mayroon silang award last January. February tayo nag-bid ng kabangkalan. Bakit nila pa ginamit yung personal equipment sa kabangkalan? So, if ever po magre-recommend ako yung BAC TWG, kaya siguro for the TWG part, we will recommend Kalibo but not kabangkalan. Sir, the recommendation of the BAC TWG for the concreting of Darwin Kabangkalan Airport is to award the project to Kailangan Resource and Development Corporation for being considered and evaluated as the lowest calculated responsible leader for the project.
Before we approve this recommendation, is it necessary that we are going to reply first to the CAAP?
Yes, sir. We have to reply for the prior to the awarding of the project. So, depende pa rin po, sir, kung ano po yung...
Huwag muna natin itong decision. Kasi,
Yes, sir.
first step is to reply to the MAC or to the so, huwag muna natin ito.
Okay, sir. Okay po.
Prepare na namin yung sir, resolution, yung award, sir, resolution for award.
Yes, preparing and also the reply to the
Okay, Flores.
So just a reminder now, tignan niyo yung mga PWG. Tignan niyo yung mga kasi isa lang yung umatin ng halos sa pare-pareho yung nag-bibid. So yung mga problema niya ganyan, mag-ingat lang tayo kasi parang konektado lahat yung mga yung mga magiging decision natin sa previous mga activities. So hindi tayo magmamadali naman.
Yes, sir. Okay.
To the Chair, other matters, continuation of asphalt overlay of runway of Butuan, and it was already designed, approved for failure, and the BAC Secretariat and TWG was asking for reposting for a meeting, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, as per TWG, they have no changes for this project. Permission to post agad ka, sir, hindi na kailangan i-pre-block. Ulit? Have no changes na, sir.
There were no changes, sir, sa program of work and the PD documents.
Noted po, sir. And next other matter, sir, is purchase installation of SSS communication equipment for Masbate Airport. It was scheduled for opening last March 28, but there was no quorum. And for the record, sir, just requesting for failure, sir. No bid submitted on the date of attendance submission.
As I recall, there is a requirement that the number of storage from or storage Diba yan yung gusto mo kapag video na gawin so parang hindi pabalik yan sa sa
Sir, tapos dito dati, sir. So, we'll just advise ko, sir, is i-fill ko na, sir, then filter namin sa ANS, sir. Kasi it was posted and open to be was scheduled last March 28. Pero wala tayong quorum po, sir, and no bids were submitted, sir. Failure po, sir. Predicate them sa failure for the record lang po, sir. And then afterwards, return to the end user po, sir, for updates.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next, sir, is the pre-prop for
Pre-procurement for the construction of covered walkway at CAAP compound. For this project,
Saan kung saan ilalagay ng
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Ito po yung magiging cover ng construction ng covered walkway natin. From ADMS building, administration building po, and connected into other offices po sa likod. Like AFS building, JICA, ALS building din sa Pausan.
Saan yan yung buffet?
Ito pong dotted part po. Ito pong part na to, sir. Total po nito is 79 bays, 237 linear meter po. So, bali yung gagawin natin, sir, is nalitan naman po natin yung existing covered walkway is ano na po, medyo sira-sira na po siya. Then, pati po yung pavement niya po, sir, papalitan nila.
Papunta sa akin.
Pardon, sir.
Papunta sa akin.
Hanggang dito na po sa sabihin. Magpapayong na po kayo pa.
Papunta sa ATMC.
BTS meeting? Yung lounge, sir? Yung proposed lounge?
Papunta sa pagong building sa ATMC.
Ay, dito, sir.
bidders kasi wala po bidders.
Dito, sir. Papunta rito, sir.
Wala ba yung wala rin?
Wala, sir. Kasi ito yung concept yung port.
Pakipan mo ba? So, di ba, mayroon tayong usapan. Kasi karamihan dyan, di ba, yung karamihan mga kliyente natin, yung mga hindi ka pupunta sa LSIS.
hanggang dito lang po siya sa may part ng sa Opsam sir din. Sa ELS po. Yung existing pavement sir, yun yung nilagyan namin yung cover. Then may additional na lang po na ibang cover, like dito sa part ng sa canteen. Then dito po sa papuntang AFC building. Then itong papunta sa may parking lot, ayun dito sa likod ng platform po.
ADMS, so i-favor ba kayo phase niya?
Meron sir, siguro. Kasi under ito naman sir, ng blood yata to sir. Under ng blood. So maraming pera po yung blood, baka pwede natin yung face.
So, magigagad. Sige. Sige, sunod nyo na lang yung phase niya.
Ay, yung parking area po niya sir. Parking area ni...
Isa pang concern ko kasi may mga improvement na gagawin dyan sa Visayas building, sa Usap. So yung mga panayon, yung mga upgrading kung kaya gagawin ng building na yun, nakapaktory.
Yes sir, nakano naman po kami dito sa may Opsam parties. Yung project na gagawin sir is hanggang dito lang po sa tapat ng parking ni Gigi po. Yun yung unang upload na project para sa Opsam Building.
Sa pang-question ko yan, yung nakita nagkakaroon sa rin yung papas tinabahan o tatapunan.
Saan part po yun sir?
Yan sa bayan, galing sa parking DJ, yung pababa. Yung papapaket, yung papunta sa ALS, mayroon ng kanan, pakyat. Tapos yung pa na yan, mayroon binabahan yan. Tatapunan ba yan?
Mayroon naman po tayong ano dito sir, yung pang part dito sa, bali yung lupa dito para i-element na lang po natin dito sa gagawin pavement ng cover po.
Basta place mo yan.
So the ABC of this project is 3,276,573 pesos and 57 centavos. And the minimum required technical personnel and the equipment and the pickup license requirement is small wheel license category C and D. And the duration of the project is 120 calendar days, inclusive of 8 rainy and workable days. And the cost of the bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. And sir, may dinagdag po pala kaming requirements kapag before makabili ng bidding documents. Yung bidder, please copy of valid pickup license and registration, company ID, and authorized letter from company, sir. Just to avoid that. Sir, kasi yung case ng Tubigaraw na sa Hyperj, yung nakasali siya kahit small B siya. So, para kung ma-avoid yung cases na yan, para i-require na namin po sila na mag-submit ng pickup license para at least makita na namin before pa sila makabili.
Para hindi nila.
Okay. And for 5.4b, for this purpose, similar contracts shall refer to contracts which have the same major category support, building construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair.
Yung materialis mo pala doon sa kumulpot. Anong materialis mo sa kumulpot? Plastic ba yun? Plastic or cover?
Roofing works.
Yung temperature.
Kuya mo din?
Yung magiging bubong niya po sir is pre-painted na GI type sheet po. Pero naka-curve po siya. Curve po.
Yung post niya, hindi pa ka na rin. Ayan.
Yung poste niya po sir is GI din po sir.
The Bounty WG request for posting this project, sir.
So, Chair, I would adopt the recommendation of the WG, this project construction of cover walkway at the bottom is more costly. Second, that is
Recommendation of the WP for posting this project.
And sir, next other matters is construction of new administration building at Tawag International Airport.
So ito po yung magiging perspective ng new administration building po sa Tawag. Yung location niya sir is ito po sir.
Saan yun yung dati administration building na yun?
Ito sir, itong maliit na portion na po ito.
Yan yung administration building na yan.
Ay, yung existing sir.
Existing din,
Sorry, yung existing sir.
Yung sa yan.
Ito sir.
Yan.
Ito sir, ito. Tama sir, ito. Ito pala sir, ito.
Yan, okay.
Ito, ito.
Yan.
Ito sir, ito yung existing natin sir.
Yung sir na
Yung radar sir, ito sir. Yung lumas sir. Sa atin na lahat na sir. Yes sir, sir. Yes sir, magiging i-demolish natin ito sa magiging bakit na ito na lang-stop ito. Yung lawas sir, magiging na rin.
Ito na po yung magiging ground floor plan po niya. Second floor plan dyan. Roofing plan. So, scope po ng work is civil structural, architectural, electrical, and mechanical. Consider din po yung plan. Yung dimension po niya is approximately 13 by 17 po. The equivalent niya is 221 square meter per level po.
Kasama yung certificate na yung plan niya. So, basta pagtatay ka ng building site.
Ito lang po sir yung magiging site niya. Yes sir, itatayo lang po natin itong building po sa part po sir.
Paano yung mga kalsada yung papunta sa building?
Meron pa po kasi kaming project po sir na BPA po para dun sa lawag na dito po ilalagay sir. Malapit lang din po dito sa pag-construct ng bagong admin building.
Kasi kung tabulan yan, putik kasi kung bago mo tayo tao, sabi kung wala ka sa yung leaders din yan,
Sir, yung gagawin po namin BPA, yung program ko is for approval ng MANA po yun. So, halos magkano po sila nung sasabay lang po sila nung sa construction po ng
yung kuryente sa katutuhan.
magtatap lang po for sa existing po sir.
So, hindi mo dadaan sa, hindi mo kakapta sa generator natin. Hindi wala yung i-apply mo kayo. pang drainage niya sa nakakolekta na rin ba?
Bago?
Sir, yung lawag kasi sir, meron pong ginawa yung ADMS na powerhouse. So, completed naman na po yung powerhouse and maglalagay na po ng equipment. Yung topping po, yung electrical source po ng admin building will be tapped sa new powerhouse. Yes, sir.
Ibig sabihin kasama sa generator po niya. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next question is yung mga waste water with rain.
Ano sa drainage system?
Drainage system niya, paano kasama rin po yan.
Dapat siguro sir sa existing na
Pero nasa kita yung building eh. So, kailangan mayroon din siya na
drainage system.
Ito sir, meron pong kasamang drainage line po yung admin building. Kaso nga lang po, yung Lawag itself po, yung Lawag Airport, wala po siyang drainage system. So ito po, ang pagkakalam ko po, ito yung admin building, itatap po siya dun sa malapit sa apron na parang drainage system papunta po nung sa may papunta ng runway 19 sir, nung parang may dagat doon ay yung ilog.
Yung lower elevation sir.
Kasi wala pang kalsada na tapos nasa gitna, nasa tubig na sa picture, nasa gitna ng
Yes, sir.
ng ipan eh. So, from the house, from your admin building, papunta mo sa kalsada, kasama mo yun yung drainage na yun. Kasi sa kalsada, assume na may drainage doon.
Yes sir, kasama na sir. Ito sir, drainage line sir, meron naman po siya. And then titignan na lang po namin kung paano siya itatap dun sa may apron po sa may existing sa may apron po na drainage line. Yes sir. Dito kasi sir, mayroong existing drainage line dito. Dito sa banda rito. So kung dito po kami maglalagay sir, siguro po yung 14 linear meters po namin is short for this one. So titignan lang po namin kung paano namin ito itatap yan kung mag-variation ba po.
For this project is 13,985,972 pesos and 92 centavos. And here is the required technical personnel, equipment, and the pickup license of small B license category C and D for building and industrial plant. And the duration of the project is 180 calendar days, inclusive of 20 rainy and workable days. And the cost of bidding documents is 25,000 pesos. And for bid data sheet 5.4b, similar contracts shall refer to contracts which have the same major categories of work: building construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair.
Kasama ba yung COVID Diyos yan? Kasama mo yung Diyos yan?
Yes po, meron po. Sir, meron pong furnitures na kasama.
Office table.
Chairs, tables, modular partitions, and desks, drawers. Dito po.
Okay, recommendation.
The bank PWD recommends for posting, sir, for this project.
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt the recommendation of PWG, the construction of new admin building at Luwag National Airport is proposal.
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
Other matters, sir, for Moan from ANS, request for meeting scheduled for delivery of spare parts for Thales ILS 420 of Manila CNS facility. The end user, sir, wrote a letter requesting for direct contracting. Dito sa bakit cost for sir is 3,518,556. Requesting, sir, direct contracting nakalagay po sa letter, sir. Above po sa threshold ng SPP, sir. And it's Thales, sir.
Chair, I move to adopt the recommendation of PWG that this project, the supply delivery of spare parts for ILS 420 of Manila CNS facility is for direct contract.
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
And next agenda, sir, is the mode for request of bidding for supply and delivery of installation of 2 kVA UPS at Puerto Princesa. And the letter states here for the end user is SPP with an amount of 80,000. Yes, sir. And the next agenda, sir, is the request for mode for supply and delivery of accessories for communication equipment for various RF connectors for ANFMD and with the amount of 375,760 pesos. And end user suggested SVP for the mode. And for the last one, sir, request for the mode supply delivery of spare parts for frequencies BCS 3020 for Zamboanga. And the requesting mode is direct contracting for frequencies worth 4,462,862 pesos.
The supply delivery spare parts for BCS frequencies for Zamboanga Airport is for direct contracting.
Seconded, Mr. Chair.
And to check, that's all for the agenda, sir. That's all, sir. That's all, sir.
Okay, so we have scheduled meeting this afternoon.
Wala po, sir.